so cold in here. Oh man, I left the AC on. Wait a second. This is 1500 watts. This is the Flex 1500. Why don't I try this? Alright, time for some coffee.
Chili mac for breakfast?
We're on vacation. Of course, chili mac with beef in the morning. I wonder what we're going to be doing today.
Do you think we should get a bigger TV?
What are you talking about? This came stock with the travel light.
What are you doing now?
The park ranger forgot to mow the lawn. Welcome to Expedition Lightbulb. It's finally here. It's finally reviewed. The Flex 1500. As you can see in our intro, it is very powerful. That AC unit was 8,000 BTU. The lawnmower, it surged more than 3,000 watts and it laughed at it. That's awesome. I'm going to try to give you guys the most unbiased opinion for this review, but I don't think I can. I've wanted one of these Inergy products since the Kodiak, and the Flex is finally here. If you find our videos helpful and entertaining, please subscribe. It is the best way to support this channel. Thank you. Let's address the elephant in the room. The Flex 1500 is not going to be the most powerful inverter out there. My research has led me to the battery pack Energy made by Hybrid PS. This is a humongous powerhouse. 4,000 watts continuous, 8,000 watts surge. The battery capacity is going to be 2,500 watts, and this is the small battery. That's 2.5 kilowatts. It is a lithium iron phosphate battery, which is the industry standard right now. Its operating temperature is going to be -20 to 45 Celsius. That's going to be important. For us in the United States, it's going to be -4 to 113 Fahrenheit. It can take in solar at 720 watts. The cost is the drawback, $5,000 for its lowest model. A trusted colleague of mine said this is going to be the best power station because it was made in Canada. I will quote him though. He said that this is a very good time for backup home power stations. The reason why we chose Inergy is because of their track record. This is their third unit. The first one was the Kodiak, then they came out with the Apex, and now the third, the most versatile one, is going to be the Flex 1500. Our primary role for this unit is going to be everyday use. Second is emergency preparedness, and finally third, the funnest one, vacations. It's going to be in our truck camper, powering up everything. At $1,700, this was a very high price. It came with 2 solar panels. But compared to the competition, this is actually pretty cheap. The competition actually starts just with the inverter at $3,000 plus, and I cannot afford that. The versatility and the modularity of this makes me afford another battery if I want. I can just buy one battery or another inverter, whether I want AC or DC, or if you have a humongous solar array, you can buy a supercharger. This is very versatile. The reason why I bought this is because of all of the calamities that are happening in the world and in the United States. This has actually made me sleep a lot better knowing that I have backup power in this powerful inverter that can power up any of my appliance that I want. Let's talk about the specs. Let's start off with the solar side. This is going to be an EC8 or an Echo Charlie 8 input. The positive side is going to be the flat side. The circle side is going to be the negative. There's only one way to put this in. The max input you can have in parallel is 400 watts. In series, make sure that you have 90 volts or below. Your latches are also included here. Forward is going to be locked and unlocked is going to be backwards. My light bulb moment is going to be how to dual charge this. This is only solar input. This is where you charge your AC port. This is a 5.5 millimeter by 2.5 millimeter charge port. And that's how you dual charge this. Now you're charging from your wall outlet and your solar at the same time. We'll start with the USB-C ports. These are going to be outputting at 60 watts. You get two of them. The next one is going to be the USB-A ports, and there's two of these, and they're quick charge too. Next is going to be this 5.5 by 2.5 millimeter outputs that are proprietary to Inergy for your base camp lights and future accessories. Next to them are going to be your DC outputs, and these are regulated at 13.8. To turn the DC outputs on, you just press this button. Next is going to be your AC outlets. You get 6 of them. They're rated at 1500 watts. To turn these on, all you do, turn on this button, it turns white, they're activated. The inverter is actually pretty efficient. It only taxes you 6 watts, which is pretty good. The Flex battery has its own indicator. As we are going to demonstrate soon, you can actually charge this from the wall outlet by itself. Let's talk about the modules. This is an inverter, this is the battery. There is no internal battery in this system. If I turn it on, it will not work. I can turn this one on and it has a battery indicator, but as you can see, there's no outputs on this. In order for it to work, we'll have to put it together. Let's talk about the battery chemistry. This is going to be NMC, November Mike Charlie. The chemistry is actually going to be nickel, manganese, cobalt, which is used in the EV industries. Teslas and Chevys are just a good example. To my surprise, the battery bank of the Inergy consists of 18650 batteries found in high-end flashlights and appliances. The companies that they chose are very well known. They make cell phones, TVs, appliances. It's LG and Samsung. I had a chance to cancel my order, but as soon as they said that these were the companies that they were using for their batteries, I stuck with them. Is NMC the best chemistry for power station? The answer is no, but we're looking for lightweight and we're looking for long life too. So if you take care of your battery, it will last 2,000 cycles. If you use it for kettle purposes, like when we're heating up water, it will not last that long. But for us, it will, because we will take care of this battery. Let's talk about the charging options for the Flex battery. The Flex battery can actually charge from the wall outlet independent of the inverter itself. I will give you 3 scenarios. The first scenario is going to be that you have a blackout. You are able to charge this at your family's or friend's house. The second scenario is going to be that you are allowed to charge this at work. And last and third is going to be you have power, your family or friend is able to charge this at your house. This makes this battery very versatile. And here's a demonstration on how lightweight and portable the Flex battery is. The really blue, really bright, outstanding display. On the left, we are charging at 51 watts. The solar is coming at 55 watts. The estimated time is in the middle at 4 hours and 30 minutes. To the right of that is going to be your percentage of your battery, which is 80%, and it's going up. This display is the discharge. We're not getting any solar, it's discharging 5 watts with just the inverter on. This is an example of pass-through. We are charging at 3 watts and discharging at 71 watts. In the middle is going to be the runtime, 12 hours and 30 minutes, and to the top right is going to be the percentage of the battery. Let's talk about the Basecamp lights. When I itemize all of the hardware, these basically came for free. The advantages are it came with 3 of them. It is very efficient, running on only 8 watts. As you can see, it is very bright at 400 watts. And what makes it very versatile is that it's chainable. The disadvantage, it gets very hot, as you can see on the flare. Also, it has no on and off switch. I still love this LED light, which does have an on and off switch, but you be the judge. Look how bright it is. I like the warmer light versus the white light, but you be the judge. So since we couldn't find the on and off switch, let's try this. Are you serious? That is caveman 1980s technology. Clap on, are you serious? You engineers are awesome. Are you serious? Okay, we're just pulling the plug. It's not really clap on, clap off, but that would be really cool. Work on it. Let me give you some tips when you first get your Flex. It's gonna feel like Christmas. You're gonna be rushing everything. You saw my unboxing, I botched it, but that's okay. The first thing that you're gonna do is take off that protective cover. Next thing you're gonna do is make sure your latch is all the way back or on the unlock position. You're gonna marry them up. It should go in easy and you're gonna lock them. What I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna blue tape the latch forward because it has unlocked on me. And we'll hear that on the cons later. Next is going to be, I'm actually going to put more blue tape on this 5.5 by 2.5 millimeter output. The reason why is this port can actually fit in here and you will actually damage your Flex. And I'm going to demonstrate that. This is a light and it does fit, so don't do that. This is going to be new to everybody in your family, including you. Please do not do that. In the owner's manual, it's going to say that it's going to damage the unit. The next thing that you're going to do is be very patient. Plug this in. It takes around 24 to 48 hours to actually get it to 100%. It somehow stops at 96. After 96, it just takes days for it to charge to 100, and that's normal. So please be patient with this unit. Don't start running the washing machine like I did 4 times. This is going to be a demonstration on how easy it is to set up the Flex. The first thing that she's going to do is plug the EC8 connector to the Flex itself. Second is she's going to connect the solar panel together. It's another EC8. There's one way to put it in. Next, what she's going to do is she's going to plug in a regular wall socket and turn on the inverter. Next is going to be using the Ryobi batteries to charge up small electronics. This is a small sample of what you will need in an emergency or any calamity. The inverter is for powering up small electronics. The radio is for listening to music or just trying to figure out what's going on and listening to the news. And the fan, of course, is there so that way you can cool yourself down or dry objects. This is the very important discharge test. How much wattage can I get out of the Flex 1500 before it actually turns off and dies? This test actually really scared me because I really want this unit to perform well. And here it is, 12% left, 78, 79, and it's going to be 82. So that's industry standard. Flex versus the window unit. This is going to be a 8000 BTU window unit, the actual one that we will be using for a grid down situation. And look, it's LG. That 28 degrees is to prove that the compressor is actually running, and it ran it for an hour and it brought it down all the way to 13%. This is what not to do with your Flex when you first get it. Let it balance out for about 48 hours. This is the very next day that I got it. And I ran 4 loads of laundry and it used about 50% of the battery. The vibration when it went on spin cycle just spells durability when it comes to this unit. And we got so bored that I actually charged my Ryobi batteries and Ann's camera batteries. 4 loads of laundry and it went from 100 to 47, so 53%. That's flying colors. That's pretty awesome. The Flex versus the space heater. Remember, the Jackery actually made it to the second level. All right, here's level 1. On here it says 508. That's pretty good because when I did the kilowatt, it was 580. Again, sorry for the messy numbers there. Okay, 500. That's pretty good. Here's the second level. On the kilowatt, it was 890. There's the fan kicking on. The fan normally doesn't kick on, which is really nice on this, even at high wattage. I like this. This is 875, so it's lower than the kilowatt. And then here's the real test. On number 3, it's 1400 watts. Let's see if the Flex can do it. Come on, Flex. All right. This is kind of surprising. It's at 1603. Let's see if we can trip this. And how I'll have footage on the FLIR. We'll do this for about a minute. I'm never going to have it on this setting. This will probably give me about an hour, 45 minutes worth of runtime if we do this. Man, I love that. So 1570, that's over the limit of the 1500 Flex. My goal is 0, like, even though it's rated at 400, at 200 it'll shut off. This thing is still going. At this rate it says that's in 21 minutes, but I'm also at 54%. We're doing all the various tests this morning. I'm pretty stoked about this. This is beautiful. We'll give it another 5 seconds here. Man, this is awesome. It's living up to expectation. It's freaking awesome. I'm testing out the USB-A quick charge port. I'm actually charging the batteries of our Mavic Mini, and it is charging it around 21 to 22 watts. And there is the proof of purchase. It's actually, the lights are actually turning on fast. This is us mowing the lawn, and I wanted to compare it to the Ryobi. And in the beginning there, you can hear that it was actually just struggling a little bit. I took it off auto idle, and now I'm using the Flex, and this thing has no problems. And we're going to show you the next scene here. The fan doesn't even kick on. That is beautiful. It's like It just has so much power. I purposely left the storm panel out in the light rain just to make sure the EC8 actually is water resistant. And I was so confident in it that I actually touched it and I did not get electrocuted. So the open circuit volt is going to be 21.64, and I just wanted to test it out. These are actually my own tests. This is going to be the EC8 male and the EC8 female, since we're talking about panels.
So I've got a series of great questions
Okay.
from Brian Langford over on YouTube. He says, for someone who is not an electrical engineer, how can I know that the unit will work when I need it to? In times past, I've pulled out my Goal Zero power bank only to find that it can't power what I need it to power. Then finding out that I blew a fuse trying to power it. Something like this is a huge investment. I need to know that it will work when it matters most, not fail on me because I was not aware of volts, watts, or amps requirements.
Jared, I'll take this question. Nice to finally meet you, Drew. Yeah, Brian, so my Goal Zero has the same problem. It trips the fuse. I have a Yeti 400 lithium, and whatever it's rated for, it's actually rated for 300. It doesn't even come close to it. And I understand the limitations of it now. I just thought that's just how it is. But with this Flex 1500, I've run it continuously at 1600 watts for about 2 minutes, and it did not trip, which is really good. I've also ran a lawnmower with it where it surged to 3,222 watts and it still went. And that was actually sustained for like maybe a second or two. It's outstanding. The personal friends that I have that actually have the Kodiak have been very happy with this system, and that's why we decided to get this system. So hopefully when you purchase this, that you'll have the same outcomes as a long-term customer. And for me, with the 2 weeks as a short-term customer, I'm very happy with it. The major con that I have is this wall charger. It's almost an afterthought. What is going on with this? It gets really hot. I don't think it can push off enough energy because of this 5.5 millimeter by 2.5 millimeter input right here. It only pushes out 50 to 60 watts. On the manual, it says 88 watts. So I have no idea what is going on. You guys need to fix that. Second is the latch. This latch sucks. I've had it 3 times where it came off. The second time, I bent it. The first one, I'll blame it on me. I'm pretty sure it came back. On the second one, I was getting very suspicious, and on the third one, there's no way. I left it there at night, and it came back. I am very safe with equipment, and before I even touch it, I pushed it forward now. I push it forward now because of these incidents. To a point where now I use blue tape to make sure it doesn't come back, and I still will check it. So that is something that needs to be fixed. Third is the manual. It says it on your guys' website that it comes with a manual. What I'm looking at is, because this is going to be used in emergency preparedness, some people, when they buy this, will actually store it in their garage. They'll pull it out in an emergency and they will not know how to use this. Have a paper manual, especially for emergency preparedness when there's going to be grid down. You can't simply just go on the internet and look for the manual. You need paper manuals. Where do I start? The Flex 1500 feels like a military grade equipment to me. It is overbuilt. Let us start off with the durability. Starting from Idaho, it had shipping nicks, holes inside the packaging, not because of energy, just because of the shipping. My mail lady threw it and it still survived. I have footage of it, but I'm not going to show it. The inverter itself is going to be a pure sine wave inverter. It passed all of the tests and laughed at it to a point where I didn't do the refrigerator test because it was going to be too low. This is how much confidence I have in it. The battery. The battery is 1,069 watts of power. Next is going to be the expandability of these batteries, and they're at a decent price. Third is the brand. The brand of batteries that they use, LG and Samsung, spell durability for me. And lastly, the weight savings of the NMCs. This means that my wife can carry more clothes on our vacation. My wish list. Energy, I think, knocked it out of the park with this model. It has exceeded all of my expectations. But I do have a message for the company. Please keep it simple. I don't need Wi-Fi. I don't need Bluetooth. I don't need all of those bells and whistles. What I want is a bomb-proof inverter and a really good battery, which you guys have been doing. So please keep it up. Number two, fix this wall charger. Get it to where we're charging at 200 watts, so I'll stop talking about it. Number three is going to be a 2.4 by 5 volt extra USB-A charger. Some of my electronics I just like to charge slow for longevity purposes. Finally, the RV plug, bring it back. I'm just kidding. Don't bring back the RV plug. This truly is a golden time for power stations, solar generators. If you have the means, please put a deposit down for whatever unit you want, whether it's a Titan, a Delta Pro, which is on Kickstart, or even the hybrid PS from Canada. Get one. I love my energy. It gives me a sense of peace with everything that's going on in the world right now, at least with energy, my energy situation. If you're going to be using this for medical uses, get it. Whether it's going to be for your CPAP machine or insulin, it will power those. A light bulb moment for me with these modular systems came when I realized if you had two batteries and one went down, you can send that battery back to Idaho, still use the one battery because you have two of them and still have a full system. You know that the R&D guys in Energy are working on a bigger battery inverter or the new battery technology. This is excellent. What I love about Energy is that they never forgot about their legacy platforms. If you own a Kodiak, if you own an Apex, you can just get a cable to talk to the new Flex battery, and there you go. You just expanded your battery bank by 1,069 watts of some of the best batteries on the market. My message to you guys is please be kind to others. And thanks for watching.